What's really sad about this is at the beginning of all this was the fact that there was a little girl who was being molested, and nobody did anything. And apparently, obviously, this family knew, and that is not terribly uncommon that family members know that there is a parent or another relative in the house.
Case. Absolutely.
Exactly, and nothing is done about it. But if it's a stranger, and obviously this little girl finally got so desperate, she felt that maybe if I say it's a stranger doing this, somebody will protect me.
What a good point. Kathleen, is that a great fear now? The backlash?
Well, I'm not sure if it's a great fear, but it certainly does create a real problem because historically women and molested children have not had a lot of credibility. I mean, they have suffered tremendous humiliation and routinely are accused of lying when they're not. That's much more common than the false accusation, and even worse, accused of somehow eliciting the attack. I mean, when somebody's...
Like an 11-year-old seducing her grandpa.
And there have been those kinds of accusations. I mean, when somebody's robbed, nobody says, well, what were you doing walking around with a wallet?
Well, in our personal forum today, we have somebody with us who can help us sort out the truly crazy world of dreams.
Dr. Kathleen Mojas is a clinical psychologist who says dreams tell us a lot about what's up inside our minds. Doctor, good afternoon. Thanks for being with us. Dreams, everybody's favorite topic. I mean, it's one thing we all have in common. If we could begin, though, right out of the blocks, dreams are what and what are they not?
Well, Freud called dreams the railroad to the unconscious, which meant that he felt that they had really deep hidden meaning, which was pretty breakthrough at the time. And we sort of have to give him credit for saying that, yeah, dreams really are meaningful. They're not just bizarre things that happen to you.
Meaningful all the time?
I believe so, yeah. I mean, I use that in my private practice, and I help people try to make what's unconscious conscious by helping them interpret their dreams.
Joanne in Inglewood, what is your question for Dr. Mojas?
Well, my question is, I constantly have dreams of having my teeth fall out where I can reach in my mouth and pull my tooth out.
Well, one of the things that I tend to do is, Jung called this objective dream interpretation, and then he helped people by having them, you know, sort of go through the dream, and each aspect, you have them associate what they mean to it. In this dream, obviously I don't have a chance to do that with you, but what that generally means, what tends to come up is sort of a difficulty with your anger. You know, you have no teeth, you have no aggression, no bite, and you might be feeling very powerless in your life in some area that you want to look at.
17 years old, you have another child on the way, you have one child, you're moving out, it's a different story. But for these two here, 14 and 15, that are dressing this way, what do you think?
Right now, they're getting the instant gratification of the attention and the looks and things, or you know, having that sense that that's their importance as a sex object in some way. But I'm wondering, in the bigger picture,
so why are you
I'd like to see you get, you know, into a loving relationship and be cared about and loved and have a husband that's going to be there for you and care about you as a person. And I'm wondering if you can picture that for yourself. Is that what you want?
I believe if I have it, I should be able to show it.
At 14 years
But
old?
what about your mind and your personality and your talents and your relationships, your friendships?
Well, I have plenty of talents.
Note the 4-year-old then following his father's lead, putting a toy pistol to the head of a screaming infant.
Yes, I play with my guns around my kids. Right, yeah, it's loaded.
We showed the tape to noted clinical psychologist Kathleen Mojas.
It's so upsetting to see this tape because you just think about all those kids out there, you know, who are being hurt like this, who are being scared like this, and who, you know, they're not being taken care of, they're not being protected. And you can see why they grow up to be just like Daddy. I actually wanted to comment on that. I wanted to say, you know, women don't despair because in the last 10 years, men have been more objectified in the media than ever. And in my private practice in Beverly Hills, I'm having more men come in having obsessions about their own bodies and having to ponder the question of penile enlargement. So before you run out and get your breast augmentations, I just wanted to say hold off, because after a while we might be able to convince men to get their hands reduced. We'll be right back after this.
Psychologist Dr. Kathleen Mojas says out-of-control fans often pose a serious threat.
The reason it becomes dangerous is because it can turn. As much as they idealize them now, they could maybe devalue them and see them as actually humiliating or persecuting them, and they want revenge.
Dr. Mojas suggests professional protection.
I don't think it's wise to ignore someone who's stalking you and who's letting it be known. They know where you are. They know who you're with. They have your phone number. They know how to find you. And, you know, it's a real message. You're vulnerable, and I know how to get to you.
So what to do if you're feeling a bit detached from your mate?
Try smiling and making eye contact with them a lot more when you go home tonight, and see what kind of an effect that has.